Looks like you have some painting to do. Ah, you're painting this part of the wall and that part of the wall.
Click on the wall. The shape of each part of the wall is a rectangle.
Yes, each of these shapes has 4 straight sides and 4 square corners. So each shape is a rectangle. Well, you might have enough paint in the larger can to cover the larger part of that wall, and enough paint in the smaller can to cover the smaller part of the wall. But which part of the wall is larger? Well, if we measure the size of this rectangle and the size of this rectangle, we'll know which rectangle is larger and which can of paint to use for each.
Click on the lid.
That's a good idea. The shape of the lid on that can is a circle. And you can measure the rectangle by seeing how many times the circular lid will fill the space inside the rectangle. It looks like there's room for more.
Click on our friend to see how many lids can cover the space inside of this rectangle.
Using these lids, we've covered nearly all the space inside this rectangle.
How many lids cover nearly all the space inside the rectangle? Type in your answer here, then click OK. Eight lids cover nearly all the space inside the rectangle.
It takes 8 lids to nearly fill the space inside this rectangle. Now, what about this part of the wall? How many lids does it take to cover nearly all of this space?
Cover this part of the wall with as many lids as you can. Drag the lids here, then click OK. That's it. You need 6 lids to cover this part of the wall.
It takes 6 of these lids to cover nearly all the space inside this rectangle, and 8 of these lids to cover nearly all the space inside this rectangle. So, the space inside this rectangle must be greater than the space inside this rectangle. Okay, you better use the paint in this larger can to paint this part of the wall. And you better use the paint in the smaller can to paint this part of the wall. I wonder if there's enough paint in that can to cover all of this part of the wall.
Click on this label. The paint in this can covers 30 square feet.
30 square feet? So we'll need to find out how many square feet are in this part of the wall. A panel. How will that help?
Click on the panel. This panel is a square panel. Each side of the panel measures 1 foot.
Ah, I see. This is a square panel, and each of its sides measures 1 foot. So we can call this panel a square foot. Hey, why don't we use this square foot panel to see how many square feet are inside this rectangle? Then we'll know if we have enough paint to cover this part of the wall. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 square feet so far. Let's see how many more squares we can fit inside here.
How many more square panels do you need to cover this rectangle? Drag panels here. When you're done, click OK. Well done! 12 more square panels cover this rectangle.
Okay, let's see how many panels cover this rectangle. Well, there are 3 rows of panels and 7 panels in each row. So there are 3 groups of 7 panels.
Which multiplication shows 3 groups of 7 panels? Click on your answer, then click OK. That's right. This multiplication shows 3 groups of 7 panels.
When we arrange the panels in rows and columns like this, the first factor, 3, tells us how many rows or groups there are. And the second factor, 7, tells us how many panels are in each row. The product of 3 and 7 is 21. So, the total number of panels inside this rectangle is 21. 21 of these panels cover the inside of this rectangle completely. There are no spaces between the panels, and none of the panels overlap each other. And because each panel is 1 square foot, the size of the space inside the rectangle is 21 square feet.
Click on the square feet in this space. The area of a figure is the number of square units in the figure.
This figure is a rectangle. And here, the square unit we're using to measure the space within this rectangle is 1 square foot. So the area of this rectangle is the number of square feet that can cover it completely. Well, there are 21 squares. So, we can say that the area of this rectangle equals 21 square feet. Hey, the blue paint can cover 30 square feet. And the area of this part of the wall is 21 square feet. 30 is greater than 21. So you have enough paint to cover this part of the wall. And you'll still have some left over for another day. Now, what about this part of the wall? Have you got enough orange paint to cover this part?
Click on this label. The paint in this can covers 15 square feet.
We'd better use the square panels to find the area of this part of the wall. Then we'll know if you have enough orange paint to cover it.
Drag as many square panels as you need to cover this rectangle. Then click OK. Well done! These square panels cover this rectangle.
There are 15 panels inside this rectangle, arranged as 3 groups of 5 panels. And each panel is 1 square foot.
What is the area of this rectangle in square feet? Type in a number here, then click OK. The area of this rectangle is 15 square feet.
3 groups of 5 panels is 3 times 5 panels. So the area of this rectangle is 3 times 5 square feet, or 15 square feet. Hey, you've got enough orange paint to cover 15 square feet. Just the right amount to paint this part of the wall. Better not spill a drop. Hey, I see you're building a patio. And you're going to use square tiles to fill this space. You know, that patio has an unusual shape. It has 4 sides and only 2 square corners. So it's not a rectangle.
Click on this shape. This shape is a trapezoid.
So you want to cover your patio shaped like a trapezoid with square tiles.
Click on the tile. This tile is 1 square foot.
Okay, each tile is 1 square foot. So, if you can find how many square tiles fill the space inside this trapezoid, you'll know the area of this trapezoid in square feet.
Click on the trapezoid.
Hey, this trapezoid is made up of a triangle and a rectangle. So, we can find the area of each of these figures first, and then put them back together to find the area of the trapezoid. Let's start by finding the area of the rectangle.
Drag tiles until you cover the rectangle completely.
Each tile is 1 square foot. And we've completely filled the space inside the rectangle with 12 tiles. So,
What is the area of this rectangle in square feet? Type in a number here, then click OK. The area of the rectangle is 12 square feet.
in this rectangle, there are 3 rows of tiles with 4 tiles in each row. 3 groups of 4 tiles is 3 times 4 tiles. 3 times 4 equals 12. So the area of this rectangle is 12 square feet. Now that we know the area of the rectangle, let's use these square foot tiles to find the area of the triangle. 6 tiles fit inside the triangle, but there are some pretty big spaces left inside. The triangle isn't completely filled. Let's use more tiles to cover these spaces.
Drag tiles to these places to completely cover the space inside the triangle.
Now the space inside the triangle is completely covered with tiles, but part of these tiles are outside the triangle. So about how many square feet is the area of this triangle?
Is the area of this triangle between 4 and 6 square feet? Between 6 and 10 square feet? Or between 10 and 12 square feet? Drag your answer here, then click OK. The area of the triangle is not between 10 and 12 square feet. Try again. You're right. The area of the triangle is between 6 and 10 square feet.
Each of these tiles is 1 square foot. 6 square feet fit completely inside this triangle. Although 10 square feet completely cover the space inside the triangle, part of these square feet lie outside the triangle. So the area of this triangle is between 6 square feet and 10 square feet. You know, this part of this tile looks like 1/2 the tile.
Click on this part of the tile.
Aha! This is 1/2 of a tile, and this is 1/2 of a tile. And when we put these halves together, like this, we have 1 whole tile, or 1 square foot.
Now, click on this part of this tile. 1/2, 2 halves, 1 whole.
Hey, now we can find the area of this triangle. 6 square feet plus 1 square foot plus 1 square foot is 8 square feet. So the area of this triangle is 8 square feet. Okay, we know the area of the rectangle, 12 square feet, and we know the area of the triangle, 8 square feet. So, now we can find the area of the trapezoid, which is the area of the patio.
What is the area of the patio? Type in a number here, then click OK. The area of the patio is 20 square feet.
The area of the rectangle is 12 square feet, And the area of the triangle is 8 square feet. 12 plus 8 is 20. So the area of the patio is 20 square feet. And what a lovely patio it is. Oh dear.
Well done! You've completed this lesson. Click here to go to the practice area, or click here to return to the menu. This page is in the shape of a rectangle, and this sticker is in the shape of a circle. Drag as many stickers as you can here to estimate the size of the space inside this rectangle. When you're done, click OK. That's right. You need 15 stickers to cover nearly all the space inside this rectangle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 stickers cover nearly all the space inside this rectangle.
This wall is in the shape of a rectangle. It is completely covered by 3 groups of 6 tiles. If each tile is 1 square foot, what is the area in square feet of the wall? Drag a number here and then click OK. That's it. The area of this wall is 18 square feet.
Each of these tiles is 1 square foot. This rectangle is completely covered by 3 groups of 6 tiles. 3 groups of 6, or 3 times 6, is 18. So the area of this wall is 18 square feet.
This rectangle is completely covered by 7 groups of 2 tiles. If each tile is 1 square inch, what is the area of the rectangle? Drag a number here, then click OK. That's right. The area of this rectangle is 14 square inches.
Each of these tiles is 1 square inch. This rectangle is completely covered by 7 groups of 2 tiles. 7 groups of 2, or 7 times 2, is 14. So the area of this rectangle is 14 square inches.
This piece of blanket is in the shape of a triangle, and this piece of blanket is in the shape of a rectangle. If each of the patches here and here are 1 square inch, which shape has the greater area, the triangle or the rectangle? Click on a shape and then click OK. That's right. The triangle has the greater area.
10 patches cover this triangle, but there are gaps. So the area of the triangle is greater than 10 square inches. 8 patches completely cover this rectangle, so the area of this rectangle is 8 square inches. 10 is greater than 8. So the triangle has the greater area.
Good work! You've completed these practice questions. Click here to go to the workout, or click here to return to the menu.
Ah, you're working on a design for the quilt. That's an unusual shape. I wonder how many sides it has.
How many sides does this shape have? Click on the number, and when you're done, click OK. The shape has more sides than that. Try again. The shape has more.
Ah, you're working on a design for the quilt.
That's right. This shape has 8 sides.
This shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. A shape with 8 sides is called an octagon. So this shape is an octagon. I see. You're going to sew those square patches inside the octagon to make your design. A square has 4 equal sides, and the sides of this square measure 1 inch. So this square shows 1 square inch. Now, let's cover the inside of this octagon with squares.
Use as many 1-inch squares as you need to cover the inside of this octagon. Drag the squares here, and when you're done, click OK. That's it. These 1-inch squares cover the space inside the octagon.
You've completely covered the space inside of the octagon with 1-inch squares. So now you can find its area.
What is the area in square inches of this octagon? Type in your answer here, then click OK. The area of the octagon is 12 square inches.
This 8-sided shape is an octagon, and you need to find its area. The area of a figure is the number of square units in the figure. Since each of the squares covering the inside of this octagon have sides that measure 1 inch, each of these squares shows 1 square inch.
Click on the squares inside the octagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
There are 12 squares covering the inside of this octagon, so the area of the octagon is 12 square inches. Now, if you want to get that quilt finished, you better get busy with that needle and thread.
Good job! You've completed this workout. Click here to go to the next lesson, or click here to return to the menu.